What's going on, guys? Balkan Architect here, and in today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to model the adequately named tornado tower. So it's this very cool tower that looks like, well, it looks like a tornado. But anyway, I'm going to be showing you how to model this in Revit. But before I get started, I would just like to ask you to like this tutorial. It helps me out a lot, and if you haven't already, I suggest you subscribe because I make tutorials like this every day, and follow me on social media. Okay, so let's get started. For this project, I'm going to be using the architectural template, and it will be as simple as modeling an in-place mass. So you just need to go here to massing and site, and you start with an in-place mass. But before you do that, I would like to set a reference plane on which I'm going to be modeling. And I'm also going to set a grid. Now the reason I'm doing this, because it's a simple tower, so I'm not just going to model the tower. I'm going to show you how to model the tower with the facade, and then how to model the floors that aren't going to be poking through the facade, which is usually the problem. So if you don't understand what I'm talking about, don't worry, it will make sense in a moment. So I'm just going to turn on here show mass, and before that just go here to reference plane or use the shortcut RP and just set a reference plane like this. And once you've done that, I'm just going to add a grid line just like this. Okay, so just those two things that are just going to give us a center point around which our tower is going to be formed. So once we have that, let's go here to massing and site, show mass, in place mass, let's call it mass 1. It doesn't really matter the name. And one more thing I forgot, you should really name this reference plane, so I'm just going to exit the mass and rename it into R for reference plane. Okay, so now go massing and site, in place mass, mass 1, hit OK, and you can immediately go into south elevation, and this is where you're going to be modeling your tower. Now I'm not really going to I don't care about the height of the building, I'm just showing you how to do it. So for this building, let's just do something like I don't know, it will be like this high on the screen. But anyway, first we need to go to reference line, and this will be the center point of the building, center line of the building, and you just place it on work plane, you choose by name, and now we're just going to use that reference plane R reference plane that we have. And let me just place, okay, it's starting like a circle, I don't want that. Okay, so as you can see, I've just got this reference plane, and it's like 60 meters, 64 meters tall. That's okay, let's leave it at 60. Okay, and now we need to create an arc, and this is just a model line, and make sure that it's on the same reference plane R, and just go like this arc. You start from here, you end it here, and you give it a little waist and the whole shape of the tornado building. And once you have this, you can go into 3D, select these two elements, go create form, and you can choose this like funnel shape form. Okay, so once you have that, now we need to turn this into a facade. So you just hover over it, you hit a tab once, and then you can select the whole thing. And now we need to divide this surface, so we need to go here to divide surface. And for the pattern, I'm just going to choose a rhomboid pattern, and there you go. So we've got this pattern. Now the tricky part here is here where these two kind of sections, as you can see, Revit is looking at it as two separate halves, and in the middle where they join, this is going to be the problematic point. So if I change the number, as you can see, these rhomboids are way too large for this building. So let's say we want to make them a bit smaller, and let's say I change this to something like 15 for the U grid, and for the V grid 15 as well, and I hit apply. As you can see, now it's displaced at this point between two halves. So what you need to make sure that you follow is that you go with either 14 or 16, so it has to be able to be divided by 2. So just go 16, and here 16 as well, hit apply. And now, as you can see, it's perfectly fitting. So that's just a little tricky spot that something you need to think about when creating this mesh out for your building. But anyway, so once we have this divided surface, we need to add a curtain panel family to this system. So just go here to File, New, family, and I'm just going to be dropping back a folder here to the English metric templates, and choose a metric curtain panel pattern based. So this is the pattern, this is the curtain panel that we're going to base it on that pattern. So just hit open, and here if you hover over these lines, as you can see, you can't select anything, but if you hover over these outside lines, you can select this whole kind of a grid, and then we can change the grid from rectangle to rhomboid. And as you can see over here, this is our rhomboid, and now we need to create our curtain panel. So to do that, I like to go here with a point and set the work plane to one of these lines, and just place a point on one of these lines, and then use that point, just set the work plane, and just give it a little circle, and that's going to give us the shape of our building, or that it's going to give us the shape. So you select the whole thing, you select the circle, you go create form, and this is what you get. And now select the whole thing, go into filter, check none, check only curtain panels, and when you hit apply, as you can see now, only the geometry is selected. And now you can go here to material, and let's change it into something recognizable like aluminum, perhaps. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Oh, let's use this reflective one. It looks cool. Okay, and just hit apply. Okay, and now as you can see, if I go into realistic, yeah, it's got that aluminum look. And let's add the glass here in the same family. So just go back to wireframe, and now you can select this whole rectangle, go create form, and go with this rectangle. And now for the positive offset, I'm just going to give it something like 20 millimeters, which is like 2 centimeters, which is more than enough for glass. And here let's change the material to, or just make sure that you've selected the whole thing. So just hover over this, hit tab once, select the whole thing, and then you can give it the material. Let's type in glass. Let's see what Revit offers us. And yeah, let's use this one, the clear glass. Hit apply. Okay, and just hit here load into project, and it will be loaded in. And if I go into 3D, you select both of these halves, you go open up the properties panel, open up the drop menu, and you select this family 3. It's just named that way, and here you go, we've got our glass tower. Now if I go and hit finish mass, let's see. Okay, here you go. So this is what we have for our tower, and maybe we can go into realistic, and as you can see, it looks really cool. Now let's add some more levels so we can add floors. So just go to south elevation, levels, CS for create similar, pick lines, and let's offset by the value of 4000 millimeters, which is like 4 meters, and let's add just a bunch of levels over here. So let's add levels like that. A few more. Yeah, we can finish there. Okay, and now if I go into 3D, and if you select this mass, and you can go into mass floors, and now select all of the floors, hit OK. Let's see, mass floors. You select everything, check them. Yeah, that's what I forgot. Hit OK. And why aren't they appearing? Well, the problem is the mass that we created is just a surface. It's not a completed form. And Revit doesn't allow you to create mass floors unless you have a completed form. And that's actually good for this project, because if we created mass floors, they would be kind of poking through the construction. You actually want them to be a little offset on the inside. So the way to create these mass floors in projects like this, where you have kind of a cool facade and you want the floors to be a bit offset on the inside, what you need to do is you need to create a new mass. So go to massing and site, in place mass, let's just call it mass 2, hit OK, go back to south elevation, and you basically repeat the same process. So you go to reference plane and you go by name and you choose reference plane R, you set it, you set it here on your reference plane, or on your grid line, you set it like that. Then you go in with a model line, again set it to reference plane R, and as you can see here, I'm just going to start like a little bit on the inside, maybe from here, and then go all the way down, finish it off here, or this should be actually an arc. Yeah, so yeah, let's start from here, go all the way up. Yeah, finish it like that, and then give it a little waist, as I said. So you finish it over here, and then you switch to just a regular line. You go straight to your reference plane, and you can go into 3D. Maybe if this seems complex like this, maybe wireframe, probably this will be easiest to work. And now you can just use pick lines and make sure that you're on reference plane R. So you pick that line and go over here, find the bottom line, and you go from there to here. Okay, there you go. So you just select it, make sure that it's a closed line. As you can see here, it's not closed, so just go into trim and extend. TR is the shortcut. So you select it, you select that thing, you select the reference line, you go create form, and there you go. So you've got your form on the inside of your other form, and you just go here, finish mass, and now what you need to do is, let's go into realistic back now. Okay, you select this inner form and you go mass floors. And now you do the same thing, you check everything, you hit OK, and as you can see now you've got your floors. And then you can go again to massing inside, floors, select all of the mass floors, select the floor you want to use, maybe let's use the thicker one, create floor, and there you go, you've got your floors on your tornado tower. Okay. Anyway, so that's pretty much it for this tutorial. If you want to download this tower project, the Revit project file, check out my Patreon, first a link in the description. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, and share this video. And if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, make sure to leave them in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.